the main thing about the organization that I'm kind of working with is women empowering women. So it's women in the community helping inspire and encourage other women just to be them best selves, not just in business, but in their personal lives too, because there are a lot of single mothers or stay-at-home moms who feel that they don't have a place. And so Tiffany Lynn, who I work with, she wanted to bring an awareness to that so that we can help other women in the community. So you inspired me when I saw you at the Women Wednesdays. You really inspired me with your failing forward and just where you came from. You're, a teenage mom, and you've done so many great things, and you're empowering people in the community. So how do you encourage other women out in the community, number one, to be their best selves, to know who they are? So just tell me a little bit about that.
I really hadn't thought about actually just an act that I do that empower people. I just try to be myself, be very transparent with people to give them an opportunity to be transparent themselves.
Yeah.
I do encourage people through on my business side.
Yes.
For home ownership and credit and building a legacy.
Yes.
That's very important to me, generational wealth. And so I try to empower them practically.
Yeah.
So give them practical things that they can do and apply to their lives.
Yeah.
Such as how to save money, how to plan, how to budget, just how to take time for themselves, how to appreciate their past, you know what I mean? Not for it being something that's, to be frowned upon, but something that they can embrace to push themselves forward.
Absolutely. So we didn't get into this, but let's go back for a second and just can you tell us how Robyn Yant started as an entrepreneur, like where you came from and how you got started? That way people know.
Now, when you say where I came from, like where I was born, I mean, started.
Yeah, just even where you came from, because I remember you telling me you're from a small town in Bartow, Florida.
Yeah.
Yes,
I got you. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. You inspired me. I'm telling you.
Okay. Yeah. So, grew up in Bartow, Florida, small town. So no one talked about anything in Bartow. It's one of those cities where you're just kind of there.
Wow.
So but my parents were big in college, so they made sure all of the children went to college. So I came up to Tallahassee, went to Florida A&M, graduated, worked in corporate, met my husband, and I ended up staying. And he's really, I give him a lot of credit, because he's the one who really pushed me to go out and do business.
Wow.
Yeah, because otherwise it was not something that I was exposed to, so I would not have known until I got around someone who knew about business, to encourage me.
Yeah. That's amazing. So you weren't even thinking about the realm of entrepreneurship, and your husband is the one who empowered you to go forward. What was it within yourself too? Because I'm not an entrepreneur, but I know people who are, and that's not an easy realm to dive into.
Yeah.
So what is within you that keeps pushing you forward to do the things that you do here in the community and probably back home in your own community?
Yeah. So my big why is my children. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want them to first see that, no matter what I went through, being a teen mom, coming up from a small town that was, a really poor town.
Yeah.
That you can still be whatever you want to be.
Yes.
You can do whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
You just have to have perseverance. You push through it. You got to have drive. You got to pray, and you got to pray some more.
Yes.
And you got to trust God for who He is. You got to believe His word is what His word is.
Yes.
And that's all I got. That's all I got.
I feel in my mind, you saying that you got to spend time with yourself. You got to know who you are. As women, how important is that? How important is identity to us?
Oh my gosh, It's very, very important. And what I'm learning, the more I go out and I talk to people and I work with people and women are pulling me to the side, you have adult women, grown women struggling with who they are.
Absolutely.
Because once you have children, a lot of times your identity becomes lost in being a mom.
Yes.
If you're married, it becomes lost in being a wife. If you're a servant, it becomes lost in choir member, usher member, this, that, and the other.
Exactly.
Worker. And so a lot of people don't take the time to really understand who they are.
Yeah.
Women.
Exactly.
And but finding that, I think when you find that piece of you and who you are, what works for you, what triggers you, what makes you happy, what brings you joy, what gives you peace. I think when you find those things, you can walk into your true purpose. And I don't think you get into purpose without really tapping into, who you are for you.
I agree.
And not to everybody else.
I agree. That was one of the major things about me is being a teen mom.
Yeah.
I struggled with having a baby at 14. Number one, at 14, I didn't know who I was. You know what I'm saying? And so I immediately became mom, and in my opinion, that was my identity. And it was, I do everything for my daughter. I do everything. Unfortunately, when she passed away, then it became, well, what is it that, I don't understand?
Yeah.
So that's really big. And when I tapped in who I was, and now, granted, when I tapped into it, there were some things I did not like. And God was like, you got to work on this.
Yeah.
You got to work, you let the world, get to you a little bit, and you got to work on that. So I had to dive into that, the good, the bad, and the ugly side of all of it, and really figuring out what my true purpose is and what God created me to do here on this earth.
And let me just park you right there for just a second, because to piggyback on that, we get covered with so much stuff. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Especially when you're young and you made some mistakes.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like being a teen mom. So then you struggle with shame and self-worth and all of that stuff. So it's even harder to find, like,
it really is
who you really are. Yeah, you got to peel off all the layers.
All the layers.
Yeah.
Like,
and
this
they get painful.
It do.
Yeah, what you just
it's
said.
hard. It's because I'm right now I'm 34 years old, but it was very painful at 30 trying to be like, well, wait a minute, like, I really don't know who the heck I am right now, and I got to figure all of this out. But what I learned is it's a process, and it's okay. And I'm where I need to be in the process.
Yes, ma'am.
You know what I'm saying? So it felt really good, and that's why I tell you, you encouraged me so much when I saw you, because, and I heard you speak, because those were the things that I was struggling with. But at the same time, those are the things generational wealth was a big thing for me. I was like, I want to leave something behind for my children and their children and their children's children, something that kind of leads everybody in a direction, but also a fear, just this underlining fear and not understanding where that came from. And so hearing you talk about it really encouraged me to dive into it, to understand where it's coming from, and even though I'm afraid, to continue to walk in purpose. As long as I feel like I'm doing the right thing, I can still walk through that door, and come what may, I feel like God protects me anyway. So absolutely. So how do we as women, because that's another thing, form a community and not competition? Because I see that a lot, where we are so good together, but then there comes a form of competition. And how do we try to break down those barriers with one another?
I have no idea.
That's an honest answer. Very honest.
I say that because me and my girlfriends talk about this a lot, and I've had the same two friends since middle school.
Wow.
And it's only been the same two friends since middle school.
That's great.
And I just learned to embrace that, though, because before I was like, gosh, I don't have a lot of friends, and I didn't grow up with friends, and I need friends. But when I thought about it, I do have friends, and they have been true friends for almost 3 decades.
That's amazing.
You know what I mean?
That's a blessing.
It is. And we don't, so since I came with that, I haven't ever been one to be in the circle of feeling like I need to compete because I didn't, kind of start out with having a bunch of girlfriends.
Absolutely.
And then we went through these changes. It's been me and these 2 young ladies and 2 gentlemen, and that's been our circle.
That's awesome.
So I don't know. I would say what I don't understand is that every woman is unique. Like, my strengths are not your strengths. My weaknesses, my struggles, none of that is yours. It may be something similar, but all of our situations are different. I think when you just embrace who you are, first you got to know who you are. We're going to keep going back to that.
The identity.
Yeah. Yes. When you understand your identity, no one else is no competition.
Oh, man.
I mean,
that's so
I
true.
think more people, I think that's what it is.
People
Women
don't
are walking
know.
around.
They don't know we don't know who we are.
Exactly.
And we comparing ourselves to everybody else, and we're saying, I want what she has, or I want what she has, or what she has looks really good.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is, I don't think that women and some men understand that there's a process that person had to go through.
Yeah.
That person was created to do that here on this earth. Like, that's their lane.
Exactly.
And so sometimes we meant to share a lane. Sometimes you got that 4-lane highway and we're meant to share. And then there's sometimes where it's like that 1 lane and it's like, this is mine and you over here.
Exactly. But we don't need to crash.
And we don't need to crash. Stay on your side and I'll stay on my side. And we'll get to our destinations safely. So that is truly, you're absolutely right. It all
that's the
goes
only
back
thing
to
that,
identity.
I think that's the only thing that it can be.
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. So one last question before we kind of wrap it up is how important it is in your mind for women to have mentors, like that Titus 31 woman in their life to help guide kind of the next generation forward.
Super important.
Yeah.
I didn't get that until I was 23.
Wow.
And the beautiful thing about it is I told my mom and she said, you know what? I prayed that that woman would come into your life.
Oh my goodness.
Because I knew that I couldn't be there for you, but someone else would be able to get to you. And the woman did.
Wow.
And so I call her Mama A. Her name is Adrienne Hendricks. And she has been such a mentor. And then after that, so many other, not just in business, just in life. She's been my spiritual mother. She's been my prayer partner. She's interceded 100.
Yeah.
Yes. Listen. She's been my financial coach. She's just been there. You know what I mean? She's helped me tap into some stuff that I need to tap into.
Yeah.
She told me, hey, you having tantrums. You're a big baby, so she checked me on that. Just a lot of stuff. I think it's very important. Yeah. And you can't be so scared to be vulnerable to another woman.
Yes.
And you have to be coachable.
Yeah.
I'm going to say it again.
Yes.
Look, you have to be
coachable.
Yeah. Because, when no one is there to judge. Sometimes women are there to judge.
Yeah.
But when you're in that place where you're talking about that Titus woman, she's not there to judge you.
Right.
She will judge you because the word says that you can judge to offer correction.
There you go.
But she's not there to judge you to put you down. She's judging, what the actions are and saying, hey,
it's to hold you accountable.
Exactly. Maybe you should do that this way. Maybe you should consider this. This avenue is not going to work for you, so you need to take avenue B instead of avenue A.
Yes.
So you got to be coachable. You got to be in prayer and have discernment to make sure that you're connected to the right person. Because some people that you think the right person, I don't care if they mother such and such. Yep. Sometimes they may not be the right mentor for you.
Oh, I learned that very
recently.
I learned that the hard way.
Yeah.
But I learned.
But you learned.
I did.
Yeah. So you have to, and because sometimes we just make an assumption like, oh, this person is, and I know that they can teach me. No. We got to ask Father first, have some discernment.
There you go.
About it. And he'll put us he'll put the right person across your path. Amen. He'll put the right person. And if they love you, even when you give pushback, because I used to give her major pushback. major. And really, her husband was the one who got me because he was my boss.
Wow.
And he used to come into my office every day for 2 years and read a scripture in the morning.
Wow.
And sometimes I used to be like, I don't even want to hear this today.
Wow.
And he would keep reading.
Oh my goodness.
And sometimes I would just walk out the office. He'll sit there, cross his legs. He'll wait. And he'll say, "You ready to read the word today?" And I was like, "Oh my God!" Yes, But all that time he was planting in me.
Oh wow.
And then it started manifesting.
Yes.
But I'm telling you, first 2 years, I was like, "Oh, he about to work my nerves with this."
I don't want to hear that.
Yeah. So I said that to say, when people truly love you, they'll love you through your mess. And they're not going to run and disappear. They're not going to talk about you. They're not going to say, "You know what, this is too much. This isn't going to work." They're going to stand right there in the mud with you and pull you out.
Oh my
and that's
gosh.
important.
That is so great.
Yeah.
You have such words of wisdom. I'm telling you, like I said, I know that's why I wanted to highlight you for this blog. It's because you were encouraging to me and you inspired me. And I know that your words of wisdom can inspire other people. And I think that's just fantastic. So I thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Can we hug on camera?
Absolutely.
Oh.
You're so beautiful.
Thank you. You too.
I love you so
Thank
much.
you.
And thank you. And you guys, go check out Tiffany Lynn's website is tiffanylynn.org, and you can catch all the blog posts that we will put out there. And thank you guys for tuning in.
Thank
Bye.
you.